for missed the session. Whoever just joined us, Michelle, good to see you. Thanks for joining. And I have Eric with the Deputy Shaw Group. Thanks for joining. Denise, thanks for joining. Who else? Chitra, thank you for joining. All right, we're gonna have more people jump into the call.
Great.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. I can't believe that we're mid-May. I mean, it's almost 6 months in 2021. I think us, still digesting whatever happened with 2020, going into speed of light into 2021. It's gonna feel like 2021 never even happened as well, because it was so fast and so good. The good thing that we're seeing awakening of the commercial in different various ways. That's why it's good to have those bi-weekly meetings and to kind of keep on track. I know that not everybody are jumping on the calls, so thank you guys for making the time, and hopefully more are going to join us as we go, just to get that insight of what's happening. So today we have a special guest introduced by one of our own agents, Debbie. They're somewhat related. If you look at the name, they're showing the same last name, surprisingly, because they're siblings, right? But David Moussighi, he's a lender with Ford Funding, correct? LLC.
Correct. Yes.
And David, tell us more about yourself and share some more good stuff about yourself.
Thank you guys for joining the call. First of all, a little bit about me, very briefly. I got into finance about 15 years ago. I started with residential lending. And then throughout the years, I just wanted to expand and kind of not be so in the box. So I just started expanding my knowledge and getting more into, commercial lending or, private money, everything in between, kind of like I dabbled with. And I really enjoyed the fact that with the commercial lending, it's not as typical as just a residential loan, as everyone knows. There's a lot more factors. You really got to piece it together. And I think that's what makes it more exciting. You're about making the deal work. And I like to look at numbers. I like to make essentially sometimes even the impossible possible. And that's when I feel really rewarded. I mean, we like to take a look at deals as they come and see what's the best way to structure them is, if that makes sense. And throughout the years, I've made a lot of connections with different lenders. I do broker the deals. We have many different lenders that we can contact, for specific situations, whether it be like a land loan, office building, medical, multifamily, mixed use, convenience store, essentially anything that comes our way, we can certainly look at. So, I mean, I can open the floor up to the agents or many, however you want to do this. I don't know. There's some questions, we can have a discussion. If there's anyone has anything to kind of bring up, I'd be more than happy to touch on that.
Yeah. Thanks, David, for the intro, for the opening. I appreciate that. So
Sure.
we just started to have like a chit chat before the call started, and I asked you, hey, hold that thought, because it's going to places that are interesting, and we definitely want to have those discussions. The question is always like, what's happening right now, and where are we going, right? So from your experience, what are you seeing right now? And feel free to compare it to 2020 naturally, because nothing much happened then. But what do you see happening right now with the market in the commercial world? And then what do you see more of? Meaning, what kind of trend or trends do you start seeing picking up?
What we discussed earlier, the trend I see is a lot of people are straying away from office building, like essentially even new office building development. I think that's kind of essentially cut in half for new development. I see a lot of people actually acquiring office buildings to convert them to medical use. And I see a lot of that happening right now, basically because the medical doesn't really go away. It's an ever evolving field, and they want to protect themselves from any kind of, outfall or COVID related outcomes that happen. Additionally, a lot of people are, working from home, or they're using co-space, working with like a WeWork or any of these other companies where they just have the comfort of their own home and they're not tied down to an office. I see a lot of actual business owners cutting back and reducing the size of their office, just cutting their overhead because they don't really need it. So it's a lot of what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, and that's good insight. And guys, feel free to jump in and have a chat and add your own insight to it. It should be like more of a conversation versus like a presentation, if you may.
Yeah.
So Michelle, question for you. You're out in the South Bay. You do business also out of South Bay, but do you see any of that trend in that area? Because it's such a condensed area as well. I don't know if you guys are feeling that. I think it's more in the valley, maybe city, mid-city trend.
Yeah.
What's really happening in the South Bay is commercial properties are out of business. We're seeing a lot of vacancy in strip retail. And unless you have the construction where you can put in a vent and a grease trap, and then the restaurants are all over it because everyone's looking for restaurant space. But the strip retail is suffering.
Yeah, I've seen that too. To touch on Stephanie's point, strip retail is definitely suffering as well. I think that goes back to, I don't know if strip retail has just been on a decline for the last several years, and that's a lot has to do with the retail space, online retail space. So it is a tough market. I get people that want to acquire a mixed-use property where there's retail and residential attached to it. And some of those are good opportunities. I've come across, just as you mentioned, the restaurant owner looking to buy a mixed use where they can live in, the unit right above their own restaurant. So in those situations, it's a great thing for them to do. But the strip malls are also, as Stephanie mentioned, not a very hot commodity right now. But Stephanie, are you seeing what are you seeing more of from, your buyers, or what do they have more of an appetite for? Are they going more towards specific?
You're talking to me, Michelle?
Michelle, sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
I'm like,
So,
let's see.
No. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. That's all right. So, as I said, restaurants, we have a lot of restaurants in the marketplace looking for spaces going to work for them. And typically they're looking for long-term leases, but now some of them are even looking to buy if they have to, just to get the property. And then income properties, those are residential income, anywhere from duplexes up to, 24 units. Most of the average units in the South Bay are 10. Average property size in the South Bay is 10. We have some strips like Anza where you may have 100 or 200 unit multifamily, but typically it's somewhere between 10 and 20 units. So that's the hot spots. Anything that has an upside, a huge upside, they're looking for.
Everyone wants the upside with a higher cap, of course. So
right.
That's what everyone's looking for.
Right.
We're seeing the same trends, obviously. And in the beginning of COVID, there was a lot of, everyone was uncertain, but everything just picked up fairly quickly, which is great.
Yeah.
So I think we're seeing, as you mentioned, strip malls and office buildings on the decline. Everything else seems to be popular and in demand.
Yes.
Anything else anyone's seeing or wants maybe some kind of information on, and like what we can offer, what we can do to help your clients and help your deals move through?
Mark, do you want to talk about Selby a little bit?
I do. I don't know how where we are with the financing yet, but we've got a development listing in Westwood.
Okay.
2 contiguous lots,
Okay.
zone RD 1.5. So what would be, what would I tell a developer he could, what kind of financing would he expect? What kind of loan to value, et cetera?
Yeah, so it's a raw, it's undeveloped right now, or there's an existing
No,
structure?
it's got a single family and a triplex on it.
Okay, and is experienced developer, I would assume?
Yeah,
These are,
yeah.
okay. Something like that, where they're looking at loan to cost of about 80%. In certain cases, they'll go up to 90%. So if they need, for example, $5 million to build the whole project, we can get them about $4 million or so as a construction loan. Is that what you're asking? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That doesn't include the land purchase, the acquisition, right?
No, it doesn't include the acquisition. I do have specific programs, like niche programs for land acquisition. Generally, the lenders want to go 50%. I do have a route of going to 70%. So with 30% down, as long as the developer, the principal, has plans to begin building actually on that lot within the next 6 to 12 months. So that's one thing that we've added right now. We're seeing it's been useful for us.
Right.
So a lot of developers obviously want to put as least as they can put down. So
Right. Yeah.
That's a good, very good product we have right now. We're seeing a lot of that request come in.
Any rates associated with that?
Yeah, so the rates, typically we're looking, if it's just the land acquisition, like the 70% LTV, we're looking at anywhere, it could range from 4.5% to 6%. Again, just depends on the principal themselves. For the construction, construction itself, it's lower. I would say 3.5% to 4.5%.
Great.
So yeah.
Are you
get competitive? Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are you seeing, with office, with, vacant rentals, are the commercial lenders starting to pull back on underwriting, their willingness to lend? You've got a great property, but it's half empty. We'd love to loan you the money, but we can't.
Yeah, it's a great question. We are seeing that. Again, it pulls back to the whole thing of everyone kind of steering away from office, because they do want to look at rent rolls. They want to see what type of income the property is producing. So they want to minimize their risk. We do see the underwriters giving us a lot of, issues when it comes to situations like that, when you're at 50% or less vacancy. So it does get tough. I always tell anyone who comes and has some kind of request, we can sit down, try to see what's actually going on and what we can do to make it work. And I can, what I can do is stand out and tell you guys, I don't like to see any deal just go. I'd like to really see how it can be structured. And if there's a way that can be done, I will do my best to make it work. I'm not tied down to one specific lender. That's another beauty of it. We have multiple lenders we can place different loans with, so we can get creative and we can make things work as long as it's something within the guidelines. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. David, you do hotels?
To be honest, I don't do hotels. I have done one hotel deal years ago, but I can add, the lenders I work with do hotels. Have I done a hotel? Honestly, no, not recently. If it's something you guys want me to look into, I can certainly look at that for you guys.
Sure. There's somebody on the call. There's somebody on the call right now. Her name is Shitra, and she's on the call with us right now. And I think you should connect with her because she's going to need a debt quote on a hotel that she's working on. So I think you guys should connect after. I don't know if you could put your contact info in the chat, but I think you guys should connect.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, I'm here. Thanks, Michael, for saying that. Yeah,
I've known Michael for a while, by the way. Mikey, I didn't even know you're on the call.
yeah. I'd really
I was like,
I'd really like your information,
sure.
David. But I also have another new thing come up. Have you ever handled a non-profit commercial deal? Because I have an international non-profit. They're almost ready to buy some kind of a church or a specialty property.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm not suggesting anything at this point, but I would like
Yeah.
to know your thoughts on that.
So you're speaking specifically about like a church program or purchase?
They're looking at churches and old schools because
Okay.
they need at least 15,000 to 15,000 upwards of square foot space, and
Okay.
they would also need mixed use because they would have to have some retail and some some medical and something.
Okay.
So it has to be a church or a school. Yeah.
Okay. So, but also you mentioned the mixed use. So is it something they want to turn into a mixed use, or you're kind of open to it, or they're looking for?
Yeah, they would run it as an international yoga center, and
Mhm.
they would also have a shop, and if possible, they would like to have some kind of a catering or some sort of a restaurant to one side.
Okay.
So, ideally, that
How-
would be the perfect scene for them.
Okay. I can touch on that a little bit right now, and we can get more details afterwards. But very quickly, it can be done. We just have to look at the principal's history. Do they have any kind of history doing such things? Do they own any other assets? And what their background actually is. I mean, it's something doable, but we'd have to get more into an in-depth conversation regarding that.
Okay, just put your information in the chat, and
Sure.
I'll connect with you on the phone call or something. And yeah,
Okay.
they're a big NGO, and they already have a huge center in Tennessee. So
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. I'll send my contact info in the chat, and everyone can contact me or email, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Good stuff. Jason,
For anybody that doesn't know David, I've known. Oh, go for it, Manny. I was gonna give him a nice. I was gonna give him an intro. Listen, for anybody that doesn't know David, okay, I've known him probably more than half of my life and his life. The guy is the most honest, diligent, trustworthy guy that will fight for you, that will get you competitive rates, that will, float it to different lenders. And he's prompt, he's really on top of the ball. So whatever you guys got that, you want to get some quotes on, I know we all have like these debt, residential debt brokers inside the office, but the good thing about David is he focuses on a lot of alternative things, a lot of the commercial side of things, restaurants, retail, office, multifamily, developments. This is all his cup of tea. So anybody that has anything that they're curious what kind of a rate they can get, or they want to float it around to their buyers, I highly recommend running it by David and letting him run the exercise and just getting back to you on what, the lenders are actually saying. That's, he's the best at it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mikey. Thanks. And
You
that's
can pay me
essentially,
no,
but Michael knows that's the truth. I mean, you guys want to float ideas around me, just, kick something back and forth. I'm here, like, this is my job. There's no offense if you're shopping around or if your buyer's shopping around, it doesn't matter for me. I mean, we can make something work, then we'll do it. And as Michael said, I'm very transparent. There's no BS. I don't like to waste anyone's time. And, you're not dealing with a big, like, brokerage where you're going to have to deal with multiple people. You'll be speaking with me from the beginning to the end. And that's the kind of quality of level of service I like to give to everyone that I work with. So I'm here.
Thanks,
if you
David.
guys need to run anything by me anytime, and I'd be more than happy to work with you guys and your team.
Yeah,
David.
and stay on the call with us, David.
Sure.
I just want to ask Jason, out in the Long Beach, OC area,
What are you guys seeing out there right now? What's hot? What's moving? What's not moving? Give us some update. Oh, wait. You have to admit yourself first. It's a rule. Rule number 1.
There you go. We're seeing a lot of multifamily moving, probably in the more like the 40 to 100 units, big portfolios that are coming to market. We're seeing a lot of value add stuff for people, like they're going to be coming to market, like portfolios of the $75 to $125 million range, because the attorneys aren't done billing their hours yet. But once we get a hold of those things, they're going to go like hotcakes. We got more value add customers than we can count. We've got some buckets for core and core plus multifamily, but at the same time, we're seeing some odd stuff too. Like we're going to bring to market a funeral home crematory in Long Beach, 30,000 square foot lot. That's a weird one. We've got a church for sale. We got some other stuff. But Long Beach and the multifamily seems to be pushing out towards the suburbs, like a lot of the articles we read are saying. They're pushing, and the occupancy rates are really, really tight. And rents are going
Did I
up.
ever tell you I told all this?
No, you didn't.
Sorry.
No, so I mean that's what we're seeing here, and we're just getting a lot of people that want to buy it just right. They're not overpaying, so we're not running into a lot of 1031 exchange people right now, but we are starting to see some movement in pricing coming down a little bit off those highs.
It's important to note. Yeah, I mean, it's good that you guys have this whole setup, because you get to speak with each other and see exactly what's going on. And as you just mentioned, I think you're pretty spot on. There seems to be a little bit of leveling out. I haven't seen too many 1031 exchanges myself either, so it's a good point.
Jason.
Yes, sir.
Jason, I don't know if you know this, but Blackstone just tied up a $1 billion portfolio down in San Diego, 66 properties that I forgot the name of the guy, but it's all over the media. Like it got leaked and they're going to close it in like another like 2 weeks, but it's a $1 billion portfolio of multifamily value add, 66 properties all in San Diego. And it's absolutely insane, dude.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, look up Blackstone in San Diego. Somebody leaked it and like 2 weeks too early, and it's like all over the media right now.
Yeah, it was actually on Traded LA for a second.
Yeah, yes it was.
Holy cow.
And Long Beach is starting to trade again. I just saw a deal float by my desk earlier today.
Steven Schwarzman was his name.
Keith. And so he just tied up like a $60 million deal out there in Long Beach. So, you know, that whole pocket's starting to like really ignite itself. So just giving you the heads up. Oh, and one more thing. And I know, Jason, you're going to appreciate this more than anybody. We are about to be, we're about to join NMHC.
No.
Yeah, we're going to be the first KW commercial in the nation that has a membership with NMHC.
Michael, can you tell us more of what is it and what does it mean?
The National Multifamily Housing Council. So there's this council that makes up like the 1,400 biggest companies in the country that pretty much controls 90% of the multifamily industry. And you have to pay a lot of money to be a membership, and you got to get approved. So we were approved, and it turns out KW Commercial, none of the locations in the country had a membership. And so they approved us, and it turns out we're going to be the first KW Commercial in the country to have this kind of opening. What that does for us is it gives us reports, insights, directories, contacts, meetups, online videos, and we can start including like their economists and stuff like that. So it's like a really big move. And plus a lot of us can use like their kind of logo on our websites that will really help give us credibility with a lot of, you know, out-of-state players.
It's like getting a membership to Disneyland and getting the back tour. That's what it is. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congrats. That's a huge deal.
Yeah. And then once we're gonna get it all set up, etc. So we're gonna send you guys an email with the logos or what have you, so you guys can utilize it. And Mike is gonna share more as we go of how to take advantage or the relationship, meetups, whatever that will entail. Thanks, Michael, for bringing us to the group.
No problem. It gives us all credibility on a national level.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Okay. What else, guys? What else do you wanna talk about? We also have, once again, we still have David on the call. So you can ask a question, or you can throw some things in.
I have one more question for David, please.
Sure, of course.
So supposing a client has most of his assets overseas and still wants to acquire commercial property in the US, is there some loophole or something where he can show assets overseas? I mean, like Germany or India or China?
It can get tricky. I would say, does he have any kind of assets here in the US at all, or it's absolutely nothing and everything is overseas? Do you know that?
Yeah, the track is all overseas. You know, the back track is all overseas.
Okay. Do they own any kind of property or anything here in the US at all?
No, not at all.
I mean, what are they looking to purchase is my other question.
Hospitality again. They're looking for a 4 million small flag or independently owned hotel.
Okay. In situations like that, they just may require more of a down, from my understanding, but I can look into that and let you know. Again, that's something that I haven't run across when it comes to hospitality. But yeah, just send me that email, or we can chat on a phone call afterwards, and I'll get all the details, and I'll be more than happy to run some things by you.
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow because I'm running for another call now.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I'm available anytime. That's my cell phone I put on there. So if anyone wants, they can literally text me or call me or email anytime.
Thank you.
I'm available.
David, can't you use SB?
Mikey, you're hello, Mikey. Hello. I don't know if it's just me, but I have a bad
scenario. I think it's like,
Hey, Michael, you're coming in and out. We couldn't hear anything of what you said. We might have to shut you down in a second.
Yeah. So the answer to your question, David said, was no.
It's this thing called SB 880 or SB 808, something like that, and it allows foreign investors to make investments here and qualify for loans for out-of-country owners. It was a big deal like 2 years ago, but I know a lot of foreign investors used this bill to get approved when they were applying for different assets.
So I know I've heard of that, but there was more for like multifamily or apartment. I don't. When it gets to hospitality,
maybe I'll give the other one.
Stephanie, can you mute everybody else, please? Thank you.
Okay, so to answer Michael's question, I have heard of that, and I believe that was more aimed towards multifamily and apartments and office buildings. When it comes to hospitality, it gets a little bit kind of definitely more outside the box than usual, but I can look into that and see. That's why I don't want to give Shitra any kind of like misinformation. I want to be sure, get some more details, and then I can run it by my guys and see what we could do. I don't know if I think everyone else may be muted or.
Yeah,
I don't know.
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can unmute themselves once
Okay.
again. Just have too much back noises.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
else, guys? What else do you want to talk about or ask? Now's the time.
Many.
Hey, David.
Yes. Hi.
Hey, I'm gonna have, we have some buyers for this funeral home that we have on market,
Okay.
SBA style, and
Okay.
they need some answers. And they gotta
Okay.
move pretty quickly. I'm gonna text you their contact information
Okay. Sure.
and have you reach out to them because I know they need some help.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely see what I could do. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, you bet.
David, this
Yes,
is David
hi.
Yashar. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, David?
Doing good, thank you. Your name sounds familiar. I don't know. I mean, your face doesn't, but you know, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
your name actually sounds familiar too.
Come
I was
on, man.
thinking
If
the
you don't know
same
my name by now, that's dangerous.
thing.
Everybody knows me now. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
I
First
know.
of all, single tenant properties, franchise, 10, 15-year leases. Can you do those? And what kind of LTV? And what's your timing on those?
Timing on those, it could take 45 days to 60 days. LTV, you're probably looking at around 70%.
Rate-wise,
And
if it's a
rate-
straight, huh?
So strong, is it a strong borrower? I mean, do they have like
Strong
what is-
borrower, very good credit, the franchisee. I don't know much, but you know, it's a name you see everywhere in the country. But again, it's
Yeah.
a franchisee. It's an absolute triple net. And it is here in California or in the LA area.
And you said it was on a 15-year lease?
10 to 15 years. There's a few of them. We're probably looking at one or two of them, but you know, you're looking at an average 10 to 15-year lease with options.
Yeah. The rates on those are going to be a little higher from what I recall, but you're probably looking at in the 5 to 6 range on something like that.
You're going into hard money now.
Well, no, hard money's a little higher, but you're talking about an asset that it's just the lease. I mean, they don't physically own the property. So
So, I mean, as an investment, you don't think you can do better than 5% on something like that?
no.
Got it. You know, because the cap rates are ranging between 4 and 4.5. And if you're going to
Yeah.
borrow 5 to 6%, really doesn't make sense. And the guy
Yeah.
may not want to do the
Of
deal.
course. Yeah, no, of course. I get it.
And
It's
just for
just-
everyone and David, for everyone to know, and let's do this because a lot of people are coming out with exchanges. There's still exchanges going on. If you're pushed for time, you can always expedite the appraisal. So when you say 45 to 60 days, you can always pay a little extra to expedite the appraisal by maybe a week, 10 days. Therefore, you
Yeah.
can maybe get it done in 30 to 45 days. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I would certainly agree. And that lines up to that's essentially you lining up appraisal. If you have all the other documentation you need ready to go, yeah, certainly
Yep.
you can get it done a lot sooner.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you
Yeah.
for answering.
My
the questions.
pleasure. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and speak to you guys. I hope we can work together. If you guys ever want to run anything by me, please do so. I'll be more than happy to see what we can do.
And thank you, David Yashar, for joining the call and adding
Yes, sir.
value as always. Appreciate it.
And Manny, let me ask you a question. You tell me when the time is, and if we've got a new listing, we want to talk about it. Of course, if this is the time, if not, we'll.
Oh,
do
you
it
missed it. You
Oh, we
missed
missed
it.
it.
And Michael had a buyer for all of them. So too bad. Go for it, David. What do you have? What do you have, David?
We listed it's a single tenant that is in city of La Puente. The building is about 13 to 1400 square feet, sits on about 17,500 square feet of land. The tenant is a U-Haul rental / used car. It is a triple net lease. It is currently at about a 4.25 cap rate on the collected income. The seller, which is funny, is in Europe, okay? And every time we got to talk about any offers and anything we need to discuss, we have to watch out for the time. But put that aside, the seller is not enforcing the triple net right now because they feel sorry about the tenant and, the COVID, it's still, is between us. And I've told her, look, we're getting out of it. So she says, look, the new buyer can do it, but we're not going to do it. So On existing collected income, it's 4.25 cap rate. On what you have on paper, it's over a 5 cap. Our asking price is $1,480,000. The property, obviously, due to the lot size, that has a lot of value right there. We have one offer from another agent outside of KW. Again, that's irrelevant, but the owner is motivated. They're going to sell the property to end up buying something in Europe. If you have anyone that's looking for a single tenant, anyone that's looking at obviously the land value by itself, and the value is there, I would definitely put this in front of them. The address is 15432 Amar Road in La Puente. We have another property very close by that's already in escrow. That's kind of a business opportunity, real estate. So we've had a lot of positive feedback about La Puente. So if anyone has anyone for this kind of deal, feel free to call me, 310-710-5626. It's my cell. And I appreciate the opportunity, Manny. Michelle, I see you're here. I think our deal is going. Yes, how are you? Michelle is one of the, if people don't know, Michelle Brown is one of the nicest, one of the hardest working agents. And that's the beauty of this company. That's the beauty of the the network system we have, Manny. KW, and of course, Manny, he does a phenomenal job putting people together. So Manny, we appreciate you. Michelle, thank you for the hard work. I hope my mother-in-law is doing a good job.
She's awesome, David. Yeah,
We'll
thank
leave
you
it
for
at
that.
that. Maybe we'll give her an opportunity to talk one day. Many I'll explain to you later. But Michelle is a wonderful agent, and people that are looking for a residential agent. And again, your area focus is what, South Bay?
South Bay, yeah, South Bay luxury. And then Mark and I have a commercial division as well.
There you go. So 2 for 1. Thank you very much. Thank you, Manny.
Thank you, David. That was awesome. Is there anyone else on the call that wants to share any needs, wants, anything like that for the group?
Yeah, I do.
All right, awesome.
Mark Hearn, KW South Bay.
Hello.
Hi. We've got the new listing in Westwood, 12,900 square feet, listed for 5.399. It just came on the market. It's a potential to, right now you can build 8 units on it. If you adhere to the transit-oriented community guidelines, you can go up to 12. That's a development deal. We've got an office, 2,600 square foot office listing on Beverly near the Beverly Center. That's asking $375 a square foot triple net. We also have a small small commercial property on Western Avenue near Pacific Coast Highway. They're asking $775. It can be delivered vacant. I'm trying to line up a tenant if a buyer wants to buy the leased investment. There's
Mark,
also an yeah.
Sorry, Mark, I apologize. The one on Westwood, what's your address there?
What?
The Westwood location, what's your address?
1643 Selby Avenue, 1649 Selby. It's 2 contiguous lots.
Okay, Selby. Okay, and it's like an R1?
Yeah.
R1 and a
no,
half?
it's R1 RD 1.5. Yep.
Michelle, I do remember.
Didn't I send you that? I think I sent
no,
you
I
the
didn't get it,
OM.
but we talked about it briefly. So you got that. Very good.
Yeah, I'll send you the OM, David.
Please. Yes, I do remember this.
Okay.
Right across from the Mormon temple.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Exactly.
And the one that I apologize, guys. Mark.
We've got an off.
Sorry, Mark. The building that you mentioned in South Bay on PCH, you said 775?
775. It's on Western Avenue, just south of PCH.
Okay. Michelle, can you send
David,
that to me as well?
I'll talk to you after the call.
Yeah, I want to talk to you guys. Very good. Thank you so much.
Finish.
Sorry.
Let me finish. We've got an off-market listing on Beverly near the Beverly Center. It's grossing 11 grand a month. He's asking a 4.5 cap. And the tenants are paying. So give us a call. We're alive and in the South Bay.
That's awesome. Thanks, Mark, for sharing. Anybody else on the call have anything to share?
Yes, one last thing. There's an exchange that needs to be fulfilled. That's why I'm asking all these questions. So anyone that has any property, whether it's residential, like let's say duplex, triplex, up to maximum 4 units due to the time, or anyone that's doing seller financing, the deal has to close, no buts and ifs about it, by June 30th. If you have anything that we can put it together and close by June 30th, whether it's a new loan, and of course, that's why I was asking David about expediting the, the appraisal, or seller financing, or it is residential, again, 0 to 4 units that, again, it's looked at for investment. Definitely give me a call. Again, David Yashar, and phone number 310-710-5626, or just email me, please, at dyashar@kw.com. Thank you.
Thank you, David. All right, so I know Ben just joined us here at the end. Anyone else have anything to share before we say goodbye? No? Crickets?
Guess not. I guess not.
But that
Okay,
was a
well,
lot of great stuff.
yeah, thank you guys. It was a pleasure chatting with you guys, taking time out of your day to get on here. Again, thank you to the KW team and Benny for setting this up. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate your time, David. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. We'll be in touch. Have a great day,
Have
everyone.
a powerful day, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, David. Thank you.